What's the difference between the Cy Young Award winner and the other Major League Baseball players? What's the difference between the NFL MVP and the rest of the guys? Because they're all great. I've come to the conclusion that I feel like the greatest athletes in the world have the unique ability to overcome adversity and handle that situation better than anybody else.
Yep. Hey everybody, John Henry from the Good Hustle Podcast. Today we have a great episode. Local legend, not just in athletics, but also as an academic, as a teacher, Dave Heckard. Dave Heckard was a staple in Cumberland Valley football and wrestling in the mid-90s, went on to play football at Villanova, then wrestled at Penn State, became a coach, a Hall of Famer, and now he's the head coach of Mechanicsburg Wildcats football, but he also coached for 17 years for Cumberland Valley and has the most wins. We're going to talk to him today about what still drives him today, his focus, and how he's helping kids in the local community. So take a peek. Today on the Good Hustle, we're sitting down with a true local legend, which is true, Dave Heckard. If you grew up in Cumberland Valley in the mid-90s, you know the name. Dave was a standout athlete, dominating in both football and wrestling. After an incredible career at Cumberland Valley, where he helped lead his football team to big moments and excellence at wrestling. Did you play in the state championship, or did you dress for that game?
I was a freshman.
Yeah.
When
did you dress at all?
Not. No.
Okay, but you went.
Oh yeah, we were there. I mean,
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. He went on to play college football for 4 years, and you played all 4 years at Villanova. Yep. I actually looked at your freshman year stats. You had a good year.
Yeah. Started off.
I think you had 66 tackles your freshman year.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
But David's story did not stop there. Most athletes would hang it up after D1 football career. Not Dave. He still had that fire, that drive. He wrestled for Penn State's club team that year. After graduation, it was a club team, correct?
No, it was
it was the regular team?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You're good. No, you're fine.
And to me, that's the mindset and determination I want to get into with you a little bit. He's also recognized for his achievements, including being inducted into the West Shore Chapter Sports Hall of Fame. You're Cumberland Valley Hall of Fame too, right?
Yeah.
And then where he left a simple, powerful message, just keep showing up. So today we're diving into the grit, the mindset, and the moments that shaped his journey on and off the field. So welcome to the Good Hustle, Dave.
Yeah.
John Henry here. We obviously go way back. I knew you in high school. I'm going to start off with a funny story, though.
Go ahead.
So
I don't know if I want to hear this.
No, it's really good. So midget baseball.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
So
Silver Spring baseball.
I was Middlesex. I played for the Roadway Twins and paid for the Pirates.
I did play for the Pirates.
And I would go play at that field at Green Ridge.
Okay.
Which the field was I think left field was 8 feet. It was the smallest field ever to play on. So it was the only place I'd ever think I'd get a home run on, like when I was younger.
Right.
So as a 10-year-old, I was a starting pitcher, and you were 12, because that was the first year of midgets.
You're right. That 10, 11, and 12 was grouped together.
Yeah, it was grouped together. So, and you were the fourth hitter. The third hitter was Jeremy Lundquist. Who was a beast of a baseball player.
Oh, yeah.
So the two best players in all of our league were on the same team.
Yeah.
Your team. So first inning, I'm 10. I'm going against you. I strike Jeremy out, and then I strike you out.
Oh, no.
And I was living the dream. It was like the greatest sports moment. I was like, yep, I'm here. Let's move forward 2 innings. Back-to-back home runs off me. You guys both smoked me. And
and this is at Green Ridge.
This is at Green Ridge.
Yeah.
I can still picture the whole thing happening. And this is 35 years ago, because I'm 10 years old. I'm 45 now. I can literally still picture this.
Yeah, it's funny. You do remember moments,
yes.
of youth, sports and whatnot. And you're talking about that team, and
does that bring back memories?
Oh yeah, and a matter of fact, you mentioned Jeremy Lundquist. Well, I coach at Mechanicsburg now with a relative of his through marriage. So I hear a lot about him, and I always ask about him. And
where's he at now? What's he do?
Oh man, he is. I think he's teaching.
Okay.
But not in state.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know if I'm right on this, I think he's set up in the New England area.
Yeah.
Because
he was good friends with my brother Ira back in the day.
Yes.
But once again, he was just one of those, he was an all-around athlete.
Oh, yeah.
You could put him on a baseball field, a football field, a soccer field, anywhere, and he would just excel no matter what.
He could do whatever. And they lived right back up here in Silver Spring. And, we were just talking about him, and I asked my assistant coach to, when he sees him, ask him if he remembers the name of the team that he played on.
The Pirates.
And they got it right away, like him and Dad both. So yeah,
dude, I can remember it. Like that was one of the only teams I remember because it was like literally one of the biggest highs of my. Because what happens is whenever I peaked in like middle school, early high school, and all sports, because drugs will do that to you. But that's the way it is. But I peaked at a young age. But when I struck you two out, and then I was very humbled. About 30 minutes later, it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, and here's the deal too. Like back when we played youth baseball, let's use youth baseball as an example. I say today, like, that periscope is completely changed today. We showed up to the first day of practice and the coach had an army bag full of bats and an army bag full of balls, and you paid $30.
Yep.
And you got your baseball hat and your t-shirt and you played youth baseball and you loved it. Today, I mean, parents are dropping thousands of dollars, kids playing all year round. I mean, it's everything that's wrong with youth sports.
I didn't even know we were going to go on this tangent, but it is, I watch it now and it's like, how many games do you guys have this year for Cedar Cliff? Because I have friends that play Cedar Cliff baseball. They're like, we had 8 games. Their whole season was 8 games because it all goes to travel ball.
Yeah.
It all goes to everything like that. And I see these funny videos. It's like, so just parents, here's our travel ball schedule coming up. So first up, we're going to be in Guatemala for 2 weeks. Then we're going to have a red eye over to Peru for 3 days. You're going to need to pack and bring about $28,000. And it's like the kids with the sliding gloves. It's like everybody has all the gear. Everything. Every kid has $500 bats. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I agree. Like, and I even saw Richard Jefferson from the NBA. He said he went to an AAU game that his son was playing in practice, and they did prevent defense for the full court press for an hour. He's like, I pulled my son out right then. He's like, I'm not doing this. He's like, this is not real basketball.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you and all that stuff, but
I just think youth sports today, I mean, youth sports are great and adults mess them up, and
you could not say it any better.
And so that's where we're at. But no, I just, I enjoyed those years.
It was so much fun.
And as far as you, man, like, you had some struggles, but you have a lot to be proud of. I think in life, like, it's not where you're at, it's what you do and how you, improve yourself and make those changes. So for you, you went through some struggles, man, but I think, looking in the mirror, you should be pretty proud of yourself.
I am. Life's been really good, and it's been fun to hear that from people, especially people like you, because I always looked up to you as a kid. I mean, superstar athlete. Like, when I was a kid, it was Heckard and Muma and 𝐕. Those are the names of Cumberland Valley. Like, that was it.
That's
like,
3 crazy names right there. I tell you what.
And to be honest with you, I really want to get Levi on here, because talk about somebody giving their entire life to a community.
Yeah.
That's Levi Muma.
I mean, he's awesome.
Incredible
person, incredible energy.
I've never seen anything like it. And then he's like, he gave up. He finally stepped down from coaching, spent some more time with his family.
Yeah.
I go to a big 33 game. That guy's run up down the field with a camera. I'm like, he's still here. He didn't leave.
I saw that too.
But those are like the names that we grew up knowing. And it's like, and it was like, but you played all 3 sports, or you wrestled, you played basketball, you played baseball, you played football, or whatever it was. You picked 3 out of the 4.
Yep.
Like, you were doing it.
Yeah, you're doing it. No doubt.
Yeah. So you played at CV.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, running back and linebacker.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your career at Cumberland Valley, because those were the good old days.
Oh, they were the good old days. I was fortunate to be a freshman when, like, they won the state title.
John Ritchie, 92.
Yeah, and as an adult now and coaching, looking back at that, like, the impact that has on younger kids when older guys, like, set the bar that high, and as a young kid seeing that and seeing how hard those guys worked and seeing, like, a group of guys, like, win a state title. I mean, what that does for, like, your younger players is it makes them believe, and it makes them set the bar high. And we were extremely fortunate, though. I with Coach Rimful and the coaching staff and Gary Quigley, and I just ran into Gary Quigley last night at Center Street Grill. I was getting wings with my family.
Best wings in the area.
Best wings in the area, and I ran into him and Craig Sprice.
That's pretty good too. Sorry.
Yeah, there's I love wings. Period.
Yes.
And it's we were blessed to have such good coaches and coaches that really put the players before winning and losing, and I think that sometimes doesn't happen. And we were, like I said, we were fortunate and, had a good group of coaches and good support. So,
yeah, and I even remember some things, and it wasn't just John Ritchie. It was a team effort, obviously, but like, they beat Coatesville twice that year.
Yeah.
You'll talk about hard. And then the championship was Upper Sinclair or Central Bucks.
No, Upper Sinclair. You're right. Yeah.
I can't believe I remember this stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I watched the game in Scott Milligan's uncle's basement. I remember that. So I would have been like, and it was in Allentown.
It was Altoona.
That's what I meant. Altoona, because it was in the snow.
It was in the snow.
In the snow. Yeah. So, and it was just fun because you also had a great wrestling career at CV.
Yeah, again, even on that side, Roger Barrick. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Roger Barrick. Yeah,
was our coach, and he was our coach. Came into Cumberland Valley, I think my sophomore year.
Yeah,
and just took the program and ran with it, and I was fortunate to have him, and again, I think even me coaching, like the influence that Tim and Roger had. On me and moving in that direction as a profession.
Well, who has the most wins as a CV wrestling coach ever?
Yeah, I do, but you have to bring that up. Put me on the spot. But
it's you.
It's only because I was there longer, But
well, that's LeBron's points. So that's exactly what I'm going to say about that. But it's still something like. But you don't get that without Roger Barrett. Like 100%. You aren't the coach you are, the guy you are, the man you are, the father you are, without the influence you had as a child.
100%. And so thankful, and grateful for those guys, and awesome.
Yeah, and then so recruiting back then was much different than it is today. Obviously, we have NIL today. But what did recruiting look like? Because you were recruited, I'm sure, for wrestling and football. But what was it more like for football?
So for me, I definitely knew like I wanted to play football in college. Now, just like any high school athlete, I wanted to play big time football. And, at 5'11", 200 pounds, like, that really wasn't, an attainable, thing for me. But, I feel like just a lot different today. You'd get letters in the mail and kind of like judge, who was interested off of these things you would get in the mail. And I remember my senior year, Villanova coming in right around Christmas time. And, today they recruit so much earlier. The timeline's different.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's crazy. And I knew Villanova because we played there. In the state semifinals, the year Cumberland Valley won states, they played at Villanova, and then my junior year, we played in the state semifinals at Villanova. So I had some recognition as far as like being there and seeing the campus. And I went on a visit there and loved it. And, looked at a couple other schools. Buffalo, JMU was another one. And JMU was a school that I really probably would have gone to if they would have offered me, but they didn't offer me.
Yeah, have you seen their stadium now?
It's ridiculous.
So beautiful. I go down to my family's house in Johnson City, Tennessee, my grandparents and stuff, and you drive by that stadium, and it is one of the most beautiful, small Division I, and they weren't Division I then, they were Division
one AA
back in the day, FCS now.
Yes.
But that was like just seeing that and then having them win a national championship a couple years later, whatever that was, less than a decade ago, they won a national championship as an FCS team.
Right.
And just seeing their growth has been really cool. But yeah, I get it. Like, but you went on and like first year, you played right away at Villanova.
Man, I love Villanova. And I still, the head coach of Villanova today was the line coach when I was there. So I still go back. My roommate's the offensive coordinator there.
Really?
So I go back and visit with those guys, a good bit and still keep in contact. And, every time I go back to that place and visit with everyone, I'm even more thankful that my journey was there. Like, I went there and, as a freshman, got a little lucky. I think, you got to be in the right place at the right time. And there was a guy that was an all-conference linebacker ahead of me my freshman year, and he got hurt in camp. And, and I started and did well and was fortunate to, hop into that spot and be able to compete. And
because I looked up your stats, you had really over 60 tackles, combined tackles that year. I mean, you had a really good season.
No, everything went great. And, just the connections I made there and the people you come in contact with. And it was incredible ride,
So you play all 4 years, which, I mean, obviously was a huge part of your success today, because I can tell you, this isn't for everybody, but when I look at somebody that played like college sports, like I just ran in Diamond Bragg's, hopefully coming on the show soon. Do you know who that is?
I know the name.
So she played basketball.
Yes.
Yep, at Central Dalton.
Yep.
Then she went to Wisconsin, and then she went to Duquesne.
Okay.
But now, I mean, she's still young. She's 25 maybe. She's like living the dream, cryptocurrency person up in New York City. Like, she still has that drive.
Right.
And that's what I'll talk to you about, because the next step, you're like, okay, so Division I, we played Division I football for 4 years. All right, let's move on. And oops, sorry, Mike. Let's move on and do something else.
Right.
Well, your drive led you up to Penn State, and you ended up wrestling for a year after you hadn't wrestled in 4 years. And you had I want to say 18-6 record or something like it was a pretty good record, 19-6, something like that. Like, how did that happen?
So it was like it was like my least fun thing I've done, because it was so hard. But so I got done with football at Villanova, and I was never redshirted there. So I played 4 years, and I had eligibility wise a year left to play another sport. Now I graduated at Villanova in May of 2000, and Jeremy 𝐕 and John 𝐕 were both up at Penn State Wrestling, And, being good friends with them, they kind of like, hey, why don't you, come up for your 5th year and do your 5th year here? And I thought about it. And to be honest with you, my parents wanted me to just get a job out of college and do that whole thing. But I went up there and joined the team. And, I learned a lot about myself. I mean, it's very, very high intense training, very, very difficult. And, went up there and met a lot of good guys, and, had some good coaches and did it, but it was extremely challenging. I think, seeing Penn State and what they have become today is just absolutely
unstoppable,
unbelievable, incredible.
And you see, even did you see the recruits the hockey team just got? It's insane. They got 5 of the top 10 players in the world to come to Penn State.
Yeah. And that's, sports today, college sports and NIL money. And
somebody got $500,000 to a hockey player.
No, I know. Penn State's all in.
Yeah.
Penn State.
The new AD is
more. They say more alumni, from Penn State University than any other university in the world.
And there's local people here. West Shore.
Yeah.
West Shore Home. They're
all in.
And what my buddy Brian Dean, who owns John's on Fire, they're all in. They're all a big part of it.
Yeah.
There's so many people, and I put a post on the other day with those two, with Kevin Brown and Messiah Mickens, and somebody's like, "Hey, you want to start throwing some money for NIL?" I was like, "Well,
yeah.
I mean, is it a write-off? I don't know. I would love to do that, but I'm, and obviously I'm a big Penn State guy.
Right.
I did end up going to school there for a little bit too, which was great, but it's just amazing to see alumni. I'm a huge fan of Cumberland Valley sports. So you go to Well, we won't go there yet. But so after you're done with wrestling,
right?
So what happens your first couple years after school? You're done.
So after Penn State,
yep.
Okay, right. Yeah, wrestled through there, and I started working on my master's up there. Okay, and I'm ready to roll around the next year at Penn State. I was going to finish up there and stay enrolled in school really for another half year. And got a call from Cumberland Valley that a position had opened in social studies and wanted me to come and interview for it. So I did, and then got a teaching job at Cumberland Valley in 2001.
Yeah, the year before Levi started.
Yep,
because he started right out of high school
right
too.
Out of high school as well.
Yeah, English too.
Right out of college. Yeah, English. No. Too many papers to grade. Right.
Too many words.
So I started teaching social studies there, world history, and. Looking back on that whole ride, I mean, so many great people in that school that, I taught alongside and taught with. Just the whole gauntlet of people. Yeah. And then it became a thing where I came back into Cumberland Valley and I saw a lot of the teachers I had and a lot of teachers and people that impacted me. Here I am alongside these people. And then getting older, those people start to leave. And then, the whole life thing in your head, wow, these people are gone, they're retiring. And I'm looking around well, I don't even know half the people in this room anymore.
Yeah.
And it's that whole just life thing, moving on. And so, yeah, that was a great experience, teaching social studies there and, around a lot of great people.
Were you coaching right away too of some
Yeah, I was assisting as assistant football coach with Tim and an assistant wrestling coach with Roger. And then in 04, 05 was my first year as the wrestling coach.
And you coached for
17 seasons
as the head coach. That's a long time.
It's a long time. That's what I told you about the most wins. Well, I coached for 17 years, so you're going to get.
Even if you had 2 a year, you'd still be.
But that's right. That's right. But you think about that, and to me, I feel how fast that 17 years went. And I think the older I get, the one message I like to try to get young people to understand as the element of time. Where you think you have time, and
it's the most precious thing that we have.
Precious thing that we have.
Yeah.
And and it goes so fast, right? Like, I'm 47. I'll be 48 in December. Like,
I'm gonna be 46 in February. I don't even and I look in the mirror and I don't see a 46-year-old.
Yeah, I'm still like a dumb 16-year-old.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, there's no way you're, except for this gray hair. I'm like, dude, I don't see this at all. Like, I look at myself. Like, we had dinner for my sister for her birthday this year. My brother had just turned 47 because he's a couple months older than you. My sister just turned 46, and I'm like, my gosh, how are us three little kids almost all 50?
Yeah.
Like, where does this go? Like, and speaking of 17 years, like in September, I'll have 17 years sober. Like, I remember getting sober, I was 28. I'm going to be 45. I mean, I'm 45. Like, how did 17
Where
years?
to go?
In an instant.
Yeah.
In an instant. It's like, it's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. And then you have kids, and then the same thing happens there. Like, your kids are little, and now I have a daughter that's 16, and what are we talking about right now? It's wild.
It is wild. Yeah, it's great. So, and I was in a position, I'm in a position now that you were in, which isn't the most fun thing, but we'll talk about it. So, your dad, who is also a legend.
Yeah.
He is. He's a legend. The guy has always been the man. I always looked up to him. And Taryn, will say hi to your sister too, because I've always loved her, and she's Miss CV too. And her daughter looks nothing like her. That's our back. They're like freaking molds of twins. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
But on July 4th, I moved my wife's mom.
Okay.
She lives with us now, and she has super advanced dementia.
Okay.
So she doesn't talk, doesn't walk.
Yep.
We have nurses there every day. Yep. And it's the biggest blessing in the world.
Yeah.
And like this morning, the first thing I did, I went in there. She woke up. She looked at me. I gave her a kiss. She kissed my forehead. I told her I loved her. And when she passes, it's going to be really hard. Like, it's going to be something I don't know how I'm going to handle, because I've never had somebody that lived with me.
Right.
It's going to happen in our home.
Right.
But I told my wife, like, I want you home. I want her home.
Yeah.
And back in the early 2020, 21, something like that, your father.
Yeah. Yeah. Same deal. And I think the dementia thing is difficult, because I feel like in life, the only thing you have are your memories, And so I got out of coaching, because I knew that was going to happen soon. So that being said, take out coaching, and really it happened in the middle of wrestling season, that following year. But, it's tough. It's life. And I think, like, that's the thing that, hits you hardest the most is like, wow, like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? This is your dad. These are loved ones. And, for me, I feel like, my dad was like my hero. I was the guy that, I sat with him at wrestling states as a little kid, and, I'd eat my chicken fingers and fries watching the high school kids wrestle, and
at Hershey.
Oh yeah. And, and football growing up, and coaching, and just so impactful. And again, I was so lucky to have, my dad and my parents, both my parents were incredible. But yeah. And, I would say, even for me, the coaching part of it is like, there's a huge void there. I feel like, when I was coaching at Cumberland Valley, and my dad was alive, obviously he was loved coming to the matches, loved.
You're there.
Always there. And, we'd wrestle a match, and the next day I'd get a phone call, and it'd be him like, hey, you got to get your guys in better shape. Like, why are your guys not good enough on their feet? So he'd be like yelling at me about like the performance of my team. And I used to get so annoyed, but like, I'd give anything for that.
For call. Yeah.
And hearing him complain, like, it was, oh God, leave me alone, Dad, but like I said, now, I'd give anything for those calls, you know, and I think, that's important too. I think, living in the moment and taking it all. And I think everybody's going somewhere, like, you're doing this for the future. And I think it's important that, you live in the now too, and take that all in, I think it's important.
And you're right. The memories, like with Taylor's mom, she was a nurse practitioner, and she was a top 10 female surfer in the world in the late 60s, early 70s. So this lady was what, they call in California, she's a Betty.
Yeah.
Like super cute. And it's the hardest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. It is difficult. And then you get to the point where it's like, this isn't even, there's no there's no quality of life here.
I want God to take her home, but at the same
You
time,
know,
some of me yourself doesn't want her to leave.
No, been there, man.
And it's like, and I've never experienced this, and I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I knew that your dad had passed a few years ago because, I mean, obviously everybody in the area knew because we all know.
Right.
But so, and like you said, you had stepped away from wrestling to take care of your father,
Right.
which is something like when I brought her mom in, I was like, this, you know, John Henry, the guy that I knew growing up, would never do this for another human being.
Right.
And the fact that we brought her in, I'm just like, and it feels so right to have her home. Like, and you to step away from wrestling and take care of your father, which is one of the most beautiful things you can do. And he passes in the middle of the wrestling season. And then it's kind of like, now what?
Now what? You know, and you know, I think through the whole experience and obviously what you're saying here about taking them home, like, you know, the person I admired the most was my mom. I mean, she took care of him the whole time and it never wavered, you know, and it was fortunate that he was able to pass at home. Yeah, I mean, it's life-changing.
It is
life-changing. And
that's what my wife, she is. I've never seen anybody love a parent so much as what she's done. I've never seen it. Never seen anything like it.
You know, you do what you do. I mean, you know, you take care of people and that's life. And I think that's one thing in life, like they don't prepare you for as a young person. Like you know, you hear these things, but you don't always think that that's going to happen to you. You taking care of your parents is something you don't think about as a kid.
Yeah.
And that's the cool part about being a kid, right? Like you're young and you think about other things, but you know, when the reality of life sets in, you know, you become an adult quick.
Yeah. And I saw, actually, it was a really not funny, but I saw this graph for children. Basically, it shows what relationships look like. Dealing with like your parents and a child, it looks like this. Close, close, close. Then there's a big gap. And then over time, it goes like this again.
Yeah.
And it gets really close. And I feel like, you know, you're a kid, you're in high school, you're an adult, you're in your 30s, in your 40s, and all of a sudden it just gets really close.
Yeah.
And I just saw that on Instagram like 2 days ago. And I was like, it's beautiful because, you know, like I love my mom and my dad. My dad is also like my hero. Like,
Yeah.
He was my best coach I ever had.
Right.
And I had a lot of bad coaches. And one of the reasons I ended up coaching sports, which I did for 13 years after I got sober, was because I remember having bad coaches. And I remember how detrimental that was to me to actually want to play sports and how I wanted to give up at certain times because the coaches were so bad. And I was like, if I have an opportunity to give back to a community or do something, I want to be that good coach.
Sure.
I want to promote that kid. I want to make sure that they know what they're doing. Or I want to make sure that they know that they're cared for, or that, and every kid needs coached differently. I mean, you know that. Like,
Sure.
You can't coach every kid exactly
No,
the
you
same.
can't. And I'd say that's even more true as time moves on.
100%. Because and one of the reasons I got out of coaching a couple of years ago was like it was too much for me anymore. Yeah. Again, I was only coaching upward, so I'm talking one night a week, you know, and coaching on Saturdays.
Right.
It was just too much.
Right.
It was just too much.
It is a lot that goes into it, and then the expectations are high, and then you know communication is increased, so people have access to you all the time, and you know it's different today.
So you know, and you know, you have the loss of your father, and it's like, what's next? So.
Yeah, no,
some doors open that you never
funny.
expected. Because let's talk about this colors and these. So that we're Cumberland Valley guys, all right? We're CB boys here, but ultimately, like I said, these doors open up, and you don't know what opportunities are going to open up for you. And you know, the Wildcats came calling.
So, Dad passed, and you know, dealt with that, and the following school year, you know, I'm leaving school and. I'm home at like, you know, 3:30, 4:15, and my wife's like, you know, I don't really like you being home so early. You know what I mean?
It's like when a guy retires and she's like, go to Lowe's and work.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're home at like 3:30. You don't have any practices. You don't have any, you know, like, what are you doing? And it was like to me, yeah, right? To me, like that was also a time where like it hit me like, what am I doing? Like this is my calling. What I'm meant to do here is coach and you know, help young people and you know, this is what I'm doing. So what am I doing? Well, then the wrestling job at Mechanicsburg opened up, and my good friend of mine is the AD at Mechanicsburg, and I live in.
Oh, who is it?
His name is Seth Pahanic.
Okay, I don't know. But I know who's the head gym coach there? Is it still
who you're thinking of?
Name some of the gym coaches, like head gym coach.
Are you talking about
at Mechanicsburg? the high school. And I can't think of his name. He was like the nicest guy in the world. I hung out with him at the beach years ago.
What did he play? Was he involved in any sports or anything?
He was, but I can't remember. He's a shorter guy, like my height.
Jason Minnick?
Yes.
The great individual.
Dude, him and I hung out at the beach one year. Him and I and Sean Smith and Aaron Warner. But I went to Mechanicsburg for 1 year. My junior year of high school, I was at Mechanicsburg because my mom lived on Marble, divorce situation, yada, yada. It's life. Life on life's terms.
Right.
But Jason Minnick, I actually saw him over there years ago, but one of the greatest people you ever meet. He's one of those guys that I said, like, if you're going to have a good coach or a good influence, you'll never forget. He's one of them.
No, you're right. I played youth football with him because I played youth football at Mechanicsburg.
I remember that, yes.
And for the Chiefs back in the day. But he was on, and I came up with him.
He was a football player.
And knew him, and we graduated the same year, and so he's still there.
And Jason, by shorter guy, I mean like my height.
Yeah.
We're not short. We're just shorter than him by like 2 inches.
No, you're good.
But Minnick was, ultimately, and his mom was she hung out with us at the beach.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that week because this was funny. So Aaron Warner and I went to Myrtle for a week. Then we drove to Ocean City for a week. And they wouldn't take our credit card at the Suntan Motel, which was a high-end on 4th Street. And we had to spend all of our cash. We had no money. No money. Jason Minnick and Sean Smith took care of us for a week.
Yeah. Jason's still there. Good guy. So
let's get back into your story. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good. And he wanted me to do the wrestling deal, and it started out as like me trying to help him find a coach. Talking to some people, and
that's how it always works.
And so then now here we are, and and my thing was like, well, if I'm going to coach there, like I want to be in the school. Because I feel like that's an important element, for coaching at a place, like to be in that district. And I have a job I love right now, and
are you you're teaching there too?
Yeah, I work with alternative ed.
Good for you.
And it's great job, and love going to work, and love the people I work with there, and it's good. It's all good. Life's good. I drive every day to school with my daughter.
Yeah, it's only
like
8 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes from the house.
Yeah.
But I get that time in the car every day with her. And
how many times she wants you to stop at that Chick-fil-A around the corner?
So no, it's not Chick-fil-A for her. It's the Starbucks for her.
See.
She likes me to stop at Starbucks.
Which one though? Upper Allen one there?
The one right there at Cumberland Parkway. Always wants me to stop and get her a coffee. But no, so it gives me the opportunity to be close there, to go to school and be in the school where my kids go, and then obviously coach.
Yeah. And so you coached wrestling, and another big thing that you helped with, and I don't know what your exact role was, but the implementation over the last 2 years of it's actually PAAA girls wrestling.
Right.
Is in. And you helped bring that program in some sort or how? Or
Yeah, we had a couple girls that came out, and for Mechanicsburg, it was to decide, do we adopt this? Or are they part of the boys' team, and so they practiced with us, but we created their own schedule. So we developed, girls wrestling at Mechanicsburg,
which is awesome.
And we had some girls that were, into it, and girls are so much more mature than boys.
Yeah.
And they come in, they work hard, and they listen, and they're coachable. It's just a whole nother element. Dealing with the girls and the boys. And you talk to a lot of coaches that coached both, and they'll say the same thing.
I can tell you, I coached at West Shore Christian Academy, which is Mechanicsburg there.
Yeah.
I coached a middle school boys team. Everybody was Steph Curry. The next year I coached a middle school girls team, and they all listened. And they all just wanted to be a part of a team.
And we were the same way. We were young.
Oh.
Yeah, we were idiots. Like I was an idiot. Yeah, I mean, we were.
I'm the 11-year-old.
No, that's right. And so we had some girls that were successful. We had a girl that just graduated that's going to college in wrestling, Callie Bauer. And we have another young lady that got 5th at States as a freshman this year.
As a freshman?
Yeah, and she went out. She placed out at North Dakota.
No way.
Yeah, she got 8th out there. So she's
country.
Yeah. So she's
what? That's amazing. And what's her name?
Alexis Pancoast. She's going to be a sophomore. She won a district title last year, and
so she's got a lot of. She's got 3 years left.
Yeah, and she's a tough cookie. So it's funny. I had her at practice, and she had like Osgood Slaughters on her knees, and that would give her some pain at times. So I put her on a bike, and she'd put her hood up, put her headgear on, and she'd hit the bike, and she'd be on the bike the whole practice. And I don't have one male on my team that would do something like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
her, tell her to do it. And I mean, she's gone and she's put the most into it. So the girls wrestling thing is exploding, you know, and
It's huge right now.
huge. And, you know, I have noticed like every year the talent gets a little better, you know, because girls are doing it longer. And so you're starting to see that happen. And yeah, it's good. You know, it's incredible to see the rise of girls wrestling.
Yeah, because in the last time, like I said, it was just sanctioned like 2 years ago for the
Yeah,
IAA.
yeah,
2 or 3 years ago.
No, yeah.
Which is huge. So these girls that are doing it now are like, you're literally the first batch that's ever done it as an actual PIAA sport in PA, which is huge.
Huge. And
was your dad the PIAA guy?
No.
Whose father was big in PIAA?
From Cumberland Valley?
Yeah. I can't remember who that was.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't remember that either. All right, we'll go past that. So you coached wrestling for 2 years, and then all of a sudden, last year, I had to root for Mechanicsburg football, which was difficult. But ultimately, you get the position to actually be the head coach for the varsity boys.
Correct.
And what a heck of a ride you had last year. Like,
so
talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was so fun. And I do got to say, like, we had a really talented team. And then I think in high school sports, especially, in most cases, talent's going to ebb and flow. You know, some years you're going to have more talent, other years not so much. And the goal for high school sports is to get the most out of the talent you have.
Yeah.
You know, and to be competitive, you know, in most public school situations, right? So we had a really talented group of kids last year and a really good group of juniors and seniors. And it kind of came together. And, you know, you know, the staff that we have, my assistant coaches are incredible. I mean, they're incredibly important to me. You know, I love every one of those guys and I trust every one of them. And, you know, we have multiple coaches that have college coaching experience. And
that's huge.
You know, huge. And I come into our Sunday meetings and we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So, truly blessed again to have those guys around me, have good kids. You know, Mechanicsburg School District has been great. Yeah, I was actually at weights this morning before I came in here.
Yeah, so we talked about, I got to do weights because you guys went undefeated last year regular season.
We did. We went 10-0 in the regular season, and then we won. We beat 𝐾𝐿ICO in the first round, who, you know, going into the playoffs. I mean, 𝐾𝐿ICO won districts 2 years in a row, the year before and the year before that.
And you won districts last year?
No, we did not. We beat 𝐾𝐿ICO.
Oh, that's right.
And then we lost to McDevitt in the semifinals of districts.
That's right.
And then McDevitt went on to win the state title. And, you know, we battled a good McDevitt team and came up a little short. But, you know, it's only football. And I tell the kids all the time, like, you as people are not defined by the game of football.
No.
You know, you're defined by, you know, how you treat people. You're defined by, you know, the students you are. You're defined by, you know, the parents you'll become, you know. And, you know, it was definitely, you know, an upsetting loss. But I mean, at the end of the day, these were great kids. And like I said, we are strong enough to know that we are not defined by the game of football.
And it was really fun to see the actual community of Mechanicsburg because I go to Snappers a lot during the weekends. I used to work there as a kid, but I love going there to get food with my friends. But we started going back there last October, September during hunting season, and to see the people in all their Mechanicsburg gear Friday nights when it was a home game, that would be at that restaurant and so excited for football, like just bringing that whole community back. It was freaking awesome to watch.
Yeah, it was. And I'll say, like, I feel, you know, Mechanicsburg is that small town setting.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and you know, people are walking into the stadium with their blankets down Main Street, and it's a great vibe. And so, you know, even the years in years prior to that place is always packed, you know, and it's a great atmosphere. It's one of my favorite stadiums around, favorite fields around, right there at Memorial Park.
Memorial Park, yeah.
And just beautiful setting. And now we're excited again, and hopefully can, you know, create a buzz again this year.
Yeah, and you're already back in the weight room. When do actual practices start?
Monday.
Oh, this coming Monday.
Monday, August 4th, we start heat acclament, which is like a whole week of, like, you know, you have to, you know, no contact and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Have that when we were kids.
We didn't have that when we were kids.
Do you ever tell the kids at Mechanicsburg how long our grass was on our home field?
They don't even know. Because, you know,
we had the longest grass.
Yeah.
Like at Chapman Field. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Though I just think the kids today don't even realize anything close to
We weren't even allowed to have water, I don't
Well,
think.
I mean, I drink water out of a garden hose. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like, that's crazy. You know, what are you doing? You know,
Yeah, I know.
are you kidding me? I drink water out of a garden hose every day. You know, so. but no, I today everything's turf.
Yeah.
You know,
Which isn't really
you know.
great for ankles and bodies a lot of times.
No, I will say like
They're
old,
upgrading.
They're
it,
upgrading,
though.
correct.
It's a lot
And
different than it was before. Yeah.
It is. You're correct in that. But yeah, it's just become so cost effective for schools.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know, you don't have to dump money into taking care of grass and maintaining it. You can, you can put lines on a turf field for every sport.
Yep.
And play those sports, practice on the field.
Yep.
You know, so it's a really cost effective way. But as far as impact on your body, it's definitely probably not the greatest.
Well, and one of the things with CV, I mean, obviously we're less than 1,000 yards from the football field you grew up playing on.
Right.
And it's turf now, and they have moved, all the state championships to Cumberland Valley.
Yeah.
And part of that's because A, the stadium, and B, because of the actual quality of that field.
Right.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that they did that I don't like that they did was they moved the scoreboard. Because remember, whenever as a kid,
back in the day,
or whenever you're out of school or before school, you could drive by and see the score.
Yeah.
But actually, they moved it because of the sun. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so because of the sun, it had a weird glare because that's a southern sun, so it was hard to see that scoreboard.
Okay.
So that's why they moved to the other end of the field.
Right.
And they had to put that scoreboard in or else they wouldn't give them the state championship. So that was one.
Well, I mean, it's a beautiful facility.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, and a great location too.
Yeah.
I mean, being
so centrally located.
We're so centrally located. And I think even economically, you have the state games there. I mean, helps the area, helps.
Oh, yeah, big time.
So, and they have just a beautiful school and, can have the facilities to host something like that, so right in our backyard.
Well, I'm going to do one last thing. So we got a big football season coming up. We're all going to be rooting for Mechanicsburg.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
You can say it. You can say it.
Listen, I'll root for them. I root for them all day long.
You're gay.
I did go to school there for a year, but I was still a CV fan, but that's okay. But the one thing is, you were nominated for West Shore Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame for PA,
right.
That chapter, and Cumberland Valley. But during your speech, there was, you said, hold on, let me find it. Just a 4-word statement. And I kind of want to use that statement that you said for you to take a minute and talk about maybe some student athletes that might be struggling to get to the next level, that might be struggling to get out of bed, hit the weight room, whatever it takes. And it was just keep showing up. That's what you said. So you want to talk a little about that, maybe help inspire some kids that are maybe struggling right now?
No, yeah, I think if kids are struggling as athletes, that's good. It's good because I feel like in today's world, you see kids, they go off to college and things don't go their way. They're transferring, they're out. And I think one of the most important lessons that you can learn through athletics is how to deal with adversity. Right. And you're going to deal with that in life. We just talked about, parents and people getting older and death, and you're going to deal with adversity in your life. And I think to help defeat adversity, just keep showing up.
Yeah.
Right. I tell the players all the time, we have weights 3 days a week at 7 a.m. Guess what? There's going to be mornings where you're going to get up and you're going to question whether you should go. You're like, why am I doing this? Just keep showing up.
Yeah.
Right. Get your butt out of bed. Don't listen to that voice in your head telling you to go back to sleep.
I named mine Kenny. He's a punk.
Mine's Hank.
Is it really?
Hank, yeah. So, so that being said, I think that's an important aspect of life. No matter what you get hit with, no matter what happens, you got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep showing up. And to athletes that are struggling, good. Learn to deal with it, because if athletics is your only struggle in life, you're going to have one heck of a great life.
Yeah.
And, it's only sports.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I'd love to say is if something happens and it's not the greatest thing, if that's the worst thing that happens today, that's going to be a damn good day.
It's going to be a damn good day. And I think today sometimes in that mentality of instant gratification, people aren't as willing to push through adversity.
Yeah.
And I even say the best athletes there are, what's the difference between the Cy Young Award winner and the other Major League Baseball players? What's the difference between the NFL MVP and the rest of the guys? Because they're all great.
It's not just talent.
Okay. And I've come to the conclusion that I feel like the greatest athletes in the world have the unique ability to overcome adversity and handle that situation better than anybody else.
Yep.
Right? Like in game, you're going to throw interceptions. You're going to throw balls. You're going to walk people. You're going to strike out. That's part of the game. Like in wrestling, I tell guys, you're going to win and you're going to lose. There has to be a winner and a loser, but how you handle that adversity and the things you do, and get over that and get back on that mound and get back in that batter's box and, put your foot in that line, is the most important lesson, of athletics.
Yep, I agree. Well, it's a great message. And I'm really glad you came on here because, like I said, you've been a big part of this community, especially sports and of course, academics, which I can't say more about. Like, I mean, the fact that you're teaching, you're in the schools and you're there with the kids that you're also coaching, you're helping other kids as well. These kids are looking up to you, and I think what you're doing is phenomenal.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Really glad you came.
Glad you had me on here, and I watch your shows, and you have some characters on here.
I do, yeah. It's been a lot of fun. So, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I thank you for having me on, man. It's been great, and I appreciate it.
Yep.